You know what's a fun topic to think about? Death. Character deaths, I mean. It's been on my mind recently, given some reflection on a character or two I've killed in my works, as well as something in a friend's work that is an important death. In thinking about it, I found myself pondering two questions. Can I detect the underlying principles which separate a good character death from a bad one? And can I make a diagnostic tool to help writers assess how well they handle character deaths? This video is my attempt to answer this self-imposed challenge. To pull this off, I did what I often do first, by assessing what a character death is at its origin. I mean, sure, it seems obvious what a character death is. A character is dead, duh. But I've often found it helps to deconstruct before I assess and reconstruct. So, with that in mind, here's what I define as a character death. A character death is the removal of an agent from the story world. That agent once had agency. They could act, choose, change outcomes, and now they don't. Their absence reshapes the causal chain of the story. I figured out a way to represent this all with a formula. Character death equals subtraction of agency plus permanence of consequence. With this in mind, certain things people might think of as a character death don't count in this. To show what I mean, let's take a quick pit stop to Dragon Ball. For the most part, character deaths don't actually occur in Dragon Ball. Now, there are cases like Future Gohan or Android 16, but those are exceptions. The majority of deaths, such as Krillin, Piccolo, Goku, etc., aren't true character deaths. They're narrative pauses disguised as death. To help people navigate all of this here, I've created an overview of 4 types of death in storytelling: true death, reversible deaths, transitional deaths, and fake-out deaths. This video is about true deaths. Agency is subtracted, and the consequence is permanent. The story world must adjust around their absence. For those curious about the others, reversible deaths are subtraction undone with no lasting consequences. Think Krillin's death in Dragon Ball. Transitional deaths are when subtraction transforms role or identity. Yusuke's death in Yu Yu Hakusho falls into this. And fake-out deaths are when there's no real subtraction, you just get the tension of a death. I'm looking at you, pal. If you're a One Piece fan, you know what I'm talking about. Also, when it comes to true death, it ironically doesn't have to be an actual death. We'll use the case of Zatch Bell, where when a Momoto's book is burned, they're sent back to their home dimension and so on. So long as the defeat is 1, a subtraction of agency, and 2, permanent, it counts as a true death. They are functionally dead from a narrative sense. So, it's a true narrative death. For navigating scenarios like this, if a character is exiled, banished, or trapped in another dimension, can't return, and the plot moves on without them, it is functionally a death beat. For the sake of clarity, we'll divide this subcategory of true deaths into biological deaths and narrative deaths. Anyway, having clarified all of this, we can progress to the next important question. How can we tell if a character's death is good or bad? What is the difference between a good and a bad character death? The answer lies in integration. A good death is integrated into the story's causal chain, character truth, and thematic spine. It feels both inevitable and shocking, both painful and meaningful. A bad death is isolated, cut off from character logic, ignored by the aftermath, irrelevant to the theme. It feels like a narrative glitch, not a narrative beat. And from here we find the 4 atoms of a strong character death. Causality. It arises from choices/events, not randomness, unless randomness itself is thematically into character truth. It fits who they are, or who they fail to be. Consequences. It reshapes the narrative afterward. Meaning. It ties to theme, giving the death resonance beyond the moment. If any of these 4 atoms are missing, the death risks collapsing into cheapness. So, For me to build a strong diagnostic system, I can't focus on something as simple as, was the character's death sad, or something banal like that. No, I need to design around these 4 details. And that brings us to this. Step 1. Causality. Was the death meaningfully caused by prior choices, flaws, or events, not random noise? Yes? Go to step 2. No? Weak. Death feels arbitrary or cheap shock. Step 2. Character truth. Does the manner of death reflect who the character is, their values, flaws, or contradictions? Yes. Go to step 3. No. Weak. Feels out of character or manipulative. Step 3. Consequences. Does the death permanently change the story world of the characters, plot, tone? Yes. Go to step 4. No. Weak. If the death is forgotten or undone, it loses power. Step 4. Thematic meaning. Does the death reinforce or illuminate the story's themes? Sacrifice, futility, redemption, corruption, whatever. Yes. Strong death. No. Mixed. It may work emotionally, but lack deeper resonance. If your character death has passed all 4 of these, you have a strong character death because it is both narratively and thematically integrated. If it fails one principle, you have a flawed character death. It might hit emotionally, but less likely to last in memory. If it fails 2 or more, you have a botched death, which is cheap shock, hollow, or irrelevant. Now, before I end this, I have one other addition to this. While I overall stand by this, it was designed predominantly with main and major characters in mind, but supporting and minor characters should be factored in too. If they're a supporting character, 3 out of 4 is usually enough as long as the consequence is solid. For minor characters, they can fail character truth, what with them barely having had time to build one, while still working as a character death. So, with that in mind, I made this secondary diagnostic for supporting and minor character deaths. Step 1. Cause. Was their death deliberately caused by something or someone, choices, action, or consequence, not a random noise? Yes? Proceed. No? Weak, forgettable death. Step 2. Consequences. Does their death change something for a main character, antagonist, or the plot? Yes? Proceed. No? Wasted, disposable death. Step 3. Thematic echo. Does their death echo or reinforce the story's themes? Injustice, sacrifice, cruelty, futility, etc. Yes? Strong minor death. No? Functional but shallow. If you get 3 yeses, you have a strong supporting character death since it serves story and theme despite limited characterization. If 2, you have a functional death, works in plot terms but lacks resonance. If 1, it's hollow filter that won't stick. And with that, I think I've covered everything I wish to in this video. I'd love to hear what you think about all this in the comments and if it does help with your work. Also, remember to press the like button if you did find this all helpful or fascinating. Oh, and thanks to doing this work, I'm really interested in exploring the 4 types of death in storytelling now, so I'm thinking I'll tack transitional deaths next. If you're interested in that, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to see what my own writing is like, check out my other channel, which is linked on the screen.